Previously on Legacy of Ash. Welcome to the Manticore, your new home.
Hello, Chimera. We meet again.
Tell me, where is the droid known as Vox?
Who?
I like parties. Are you an angel?
I'm back, bitches!
So the camera opens inside of Captain Kymera's flagship, the Manticore. The camera pushes through the hallways, walking with, kind of behind over the shoulder of Chimera. Her ivory white uniform, crisp, pristine. The camera follows over her shoulder until she arrives at Triz's cell. There's still kind of some dried blood. The maintenance droid has come in and cleaned up much of what it could. And Chimera looks down and then looks up at the kind of hazy, kind of confused, recently stunned, unconscious Triz. And she looks down and she goes, I do have to say you are very efficient when you have the opportunity to be. I'm a fan of your work.
Thanks, I think.
You see, this was a gift.
How so?
I knew that you had problems with this individual. As a gesture of good faith, I thought I'd offer him to you. And as a moment of curiosity and learning, to see what would happen. There are many species where the female is very dominant. Creatures, aliens, even some cultures. I don't know that much about Zabrak or Iridonian ways, but I am a fan of your handiwork, and I hope that this gift might make us a little bit more responsive. Because I can assure you that the other gifts will be less pleasant.
You put someone into my cell with a knife, ready to attack me, and that's a gift?
I never had any doubts of your capabilities. Did you?
No.
Then here we are, making progress. Don't worry. I'll visit you soon. Unfortunately, there are circumstances that might cause us to be waylaid together. I won't go into the details, but I suspect that me and you and your friends will be having quite some time together over the next days, weeks, months. I hope you didn't really have anywhere you needed to be, because you are here now, and you will remain until you tell me what I need to know.
Well, it's a good thing you like spending time with me.
And she turns, her cape flowing wildly, and she walks away. The scene opens next with Remy. Actually, we might do a change of pace. We might have you kind of in a lounge, handcuffed feet with a chain in the middle to hands, so you're kind of very, very limited mobility. Mm-hmm. But you're in a lounge, there's plenty of officers and troopers around. You're sitting there, you have a drink in front of you. It's blue milk in this economy.
What?
Yeah.
God, I hope I get some.
Yeah. It's been a Bantha's age since he had some blue milk. Double Star Wars references.
You know, I bet they've been keeping it for themselves.
It's the diamond thing all over again, yeah.
You can add a new stain to your pants.
Oh, shit.
This is a rare stain.
Shit.
And Remy gets a boner.
Blue milk boners.
Oh, gosh.
Well, it's mostly just because it's so rare for blue milk now. Like,
Rarity.
yeah. It was really just a half chub since he saw the glass because it was so obscure. Right, so she immediately sets down the holocron on the table and she goes, you know, I've had some time. It's been several weeks. I've had some time to kind of tinker around with this device. It's very enlightening of sorts. Do you happen to know who Revan is?
I've heard the name. I can't say I'm too familiar with it.
Well, surely you've interacted with this device already.
I mean, yeah, I've like tossed it around a little bit. Makes a nice paperweight.
That's interesting because this Revan has some things to say about you, so Listen, Reminold, we don't have to play this game. Look, you can relax. I'm not asking you about the droid right now. You don't have to lie to me about every single thing. Unless you do, well then you just be a classic Corellian. Now, what is this device to you? This Revan character has interesting things to say, but last time I checked, he's 4,000 years dead.
I just found it. It seemed like I could get some nice credit off of it.
Yes, well, I find it incredibly hard to believe that you're in possession of a droid that's several thousand years old and a Sith artifact that's several thousand years old, approximately the same date, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't gotten my hands on that droid yet. But once I do, I'm sure that they would have been from around the same time period. The height of the Old Republic, perhaps.
That's quite a coincidence. Maybe that's what the droid was looking for. He was the one that brought us to Dantooine in the first place, but then he left.
And he didn't lead you to this artifact, this device.
Like I said, we got separated. I found that after we got separated.
Interesting. Now, speaking of separations, I happen to know quite a bit about a former friend of yours, a lover, Bria, the one you kidnapped. Wouldn't you be interested in knowing where she is, how she is, what she's doing?
I mean, yeah, it would interest me, but...
Okay. I'll trade you information. Is that amenable to you?
Sure, what have you got to say?
Oh, I'd really like to hear your version first.
Well, what do you want to know?
Where is the droid? The only question I have, the only answer I need from you.
Like I said, I don't know where the droid is.
Then tell me everything you do know. Do you tell her that he left with Vox?
With Var?
With Var, sorry.
Yeah.
He left with
been a while.
himself?
It's okay.
Do you tell her that he had coordinates to this location on Dantooine? You just tell me anything you would like to share for information on Bria.
Look, like I said, we got separated. Him and Var went a different direction. When we got back to town, the ship was gone. I can assume they were together. After that, I haven't seen him. I don't know what more you want me to say than that.
There's so many conflicting stories. I need to be sure, as you might understand. Somewhere one of you knows where this droid is.
Look, for some reason the droid brought us to Dantooine, and from there he left.
And this device, do you suspect that it was the ultimate destination? Or do you think that that droid has more in store?
Man, spend 20 minutes with that droid, and you'll know he always has more in store.
Darling, I would love to spend time with Vox.
Like, he pulled a disruptor rifle out one time. Those are illegal.
Oh, yes, I'm very aware of Disruptor.
We stripped him for parts, and there wasn't one there. The
Interesting.
droid is magic.
Well, as a show of good faith, you've been very cooperative. I'll give you information on Bria, or you can pick from maybe another opportunity. I have some friends of yours here that would very much like to talk to you.
Can't think of any friends who would actually like to talk to me.
Well, perhaps we should let them in. She makes a gesture with your hesitation, and the door slides open, and your mom and dad from Corellia walk in. And they walk over, and they are kind of escorted over by the Imperials, and they sit down at the table you're at, and Chimera says, I will let you have a few moments together. Realign your bearings. As you wish. She stands up, moves back, and your mom comes up and gives you a big hug. And your dad kind of ruffles your hair a little bit. They kind of sit down, and they look around, and there's just Imperials just staring at them all over the place. And your dad, we have names for them, right?
I can't remember them.
Mom.
Mom, okay.
Dad.
Yo, mom and dad. All right. So your dad, your mom, like immediately starts asking you how you're doing. If you look kind of terrible. Mm-hmm. Your hair's grown out. She doesn't like your new hairdo. You've been in prison for several weeks. Mm-hmm. Your dad immediately cuts your mom off, and he says, Remy, they're ruining the family business, these Imperials. Whatever you can do to help them, you need to help them. I know this whole Imperial thing with you leaving the Academy, leaving the Imperial service, I know that you had your reasons for doing that, and I'm not entirely sure that they were the right reasons, but you did it, and that's the past. But this is the future, son.
So what do you want me to do? You want me to just give them information? I've given her all the information I have. Which is more than I can say for you guys.
And what is that supposed to mean?
You think I don't know.
Don't know what? I haven't talked to you in months. I didn't even know you were on Corellia again. You didn't reach out to us. So don't take the high ground with me.
Yeah, and when were you exactly planning on telling me I was adopted? I'm not a Novus at all.
And your parents kind of look at each other. Your mother's very surprised. Remy, there's reasons we can't go into it, but we didn't tell you because it doesn't change the way we feel about you. What does it change for anyone?
There's a whole new world out there. I could have been looking.
For what, a new family?
For more family. But instead I got caught up in this mess. Look, I don't blame you guys, but...
Look, I'm sorry we didn't tell you. We just didn't know when the time was. We were going to tell you when you were old enough, but then that never seemed right, and you were having, Look, we're sorry. You're adopted, and there's not much we can tell you about your biological parents. There's a good chance that they're not alive. We didn't want to get your hopes up.
Did you even know them at all?
Chimera comes over. Time's up. Sorry to interrupt this family reunion. I hope you were able to spend the time fruitfully.
Can I just talk with them a little more? What harm could it do? I'm gonna try and influence her.
Oh, with the Force?
Yeah.
And make her more sympathetic to your cause?
More sympathetic, yeah.
Okay, deal.
So I need light side.
Dun, dun, dun.
Nope.
Okay.
You really
So,
suck at this.
With how this works is you have the opportunity to
Byron?
inflict her with a negative emotion if you wanted to, or not at all. Like, you just totally failed.
No, but I will give her one strain. What that will do.
She's going to be slightly distracted when torturing one of your friends.
I hope it's me.
All right, so she kind of she thinks about it, and then she realizes that she's thinking about it too long, and she kind of she loses her composure for a moment, and she says, "I'm sorry. If you wanted to spend more time with them, you should have done it on leave when you were with the Imperials." And she kind of gestures for them. They're kind of stood up by the Imperials, and as they're walking away, your mom basically says, "Remy, take care. We love you. We're sorry." And your dad says, "Boy, do what you can to help them. They're ruining everything that me and your grandfather and your great-grandfather have built. please, help us. And they're escorted out. And she says, I'm sure that you have plenty to think on, but we'll talk again soon.
I think Remy just kind of spits on the floor at this point. Just because he has nothing else he can do.
Okay. And you get walked back to your cell. All right. Bruto. Popcorn. Bruto. Bruto. You are brought into a sort of cargo bay. And it's empty.
This is where they kill you.
This is exactly where people get murdered and disappear. Yeah.
Hi guys! Nice campaign!
Right. So you are brought into this
Make a new
kind of
character.
hangar in the storage room. And, some Imperials pour in, some very, stormtroopers in great armor and stuff. Like, these are some of the finest, right? They're clearly either a firing squad is your first impression, or enforcers of sorts. You think you might get your ass brutally whooped. However, someone else is brought in manacles as well, in binder cuffs. And it's a certain Rothko Servani, former ISB Imperial agent. He is ultimately the architect of your current life. So he is brought in as Chimera escorts him in. Now it's a strange sight to see him in binder cuffs because last time you saw him, he was an upstanding Imperial agent.
20 years.
You've seen him more recently. You saw him on the Death Star, actually.
Right.
So, Chimera walks in, and she kind of sets Rothko off to the side. Marco, the last time we spoke, I promised you a gift.
Lynn, it is so very nice to see you.
Something tells me that you're not incredibly pleased to see my companion.
Well, to be honest, I kind of just look around the empty cargo bay. This isn't really a room that people walk out of.
And that is exactly the point. Rothko is ultimately, from my understanding, the person who put you in this terrible mess to begin with, is he not?
Yeah, you could say that. He did get me here. But what he took me from, this makes it look like a pleasant summer vacation.
Do your crew members know that you worked with the Imperials before?
No. Past lives.
Oh, not so long ago. I mean,
Long enough.
right around the time that I met some of your friends, I believe. In fact, I was very curious. Our records indicate that you stopped working with us in Corellia space. What was the change of heart? You knew that stopping feeding us information would put your sister in danger.
There was nothing to give you.
You were with the droid.
And until he was going somewhere? What, you just want me to lead you on a wild goose chase? That's why they put me here. That was my damn job.
Your job was to deliver the droid when you had him, and you had him. Not lead us on this wild bantha chase throughout Corellia space.
Look,
You sent us that message on Duro. Then on Corellia something changed.
when you're dealing with a problem like this, you don't kill the first ant you see. You wait to find out where the colony is. You know this.
So, is this the part where you tell me you're still on the job? Where you spin this masterful tale of how you're still waiting to deliver the droid to us? Because if that's the case, then surely these binder cuffs are a mistake.
I just dramatically offer to have her take them. You don't need these. If I knew where the droid was, I would report it. But I don't.
Oh, Marco, I find that so incredibly hard to believe. If you tell me everything you know, I'll take those binder cuffs off. And I will do you one better. Rothko's life is yours to take. And he kind of objects. You will remain silent. It's like, bullshit, they get in this big argument, and then he gets a buttstock to the back of the head. If my intelligence is correct, and it almost always is, what droid in the galaxy would be worth getting vengeance on the life that's been cast on you and that of your sister? We've intercepted messages that you're worried. Sure, we had some time delay figuring out the aliases and all this. Surely, this is worth more than this criffing droid.
Regarding ISB, if you know so much, why don't you know where he is?
One of you...
If you know everything else.
One of you hid him away somewhere. I'm this close. Help me.
I've been trapped on Dantooine for the last 8 months. Do you know what kind of a terrible place Dantooine is?
I've seen briefly. It's surely not the epicenter of the galaxy.
You know why I'm trapped on Dantooine? It was. I don't even know where we are now. Space, I assume. I felt a jump. Because someone stole my ship. And I can only assume the droid went with her.
Fair enough. Where would she have taken that droid?
As you well know, it's a big galaxy.
She didn't tell you anywhere. We have suspicions that it was Hutt space. Can you confirm or deny?
Inconclusive information.
Oh, that's such a shame, Bruto.
There's not enough to make a word to say one way or another.
Well,
She mentioned she had contacts in Hutt space, but who knows? I was trapped in something. Some terrible monstrosity of a place.
who would she have as an ally in Hutt space had she gone there?
Have you met her? She doesn't have allies.
No loved ones?
I think this is a deception check.
Okay. This is, I believe it's 3 purples, or 3 reds and a purple.
What? 3 reds?
Oh, no, sorry. This is 2 reds and a purple. I thought this was your charm check again. I'm going to give you... How many setbacks is it worth potentially losing the opportunity to kill Rothko?
I don't know I want to.
Okay.
He put me in this situation, but he saved me from being a slave.
Okay.
And slavery is something that I absolutely detested.
Okay. Right. So she has 2 reds and a purple, and you're doing a... Sorry, what check are you doing?
Deception.
Okay, deception. So you're... Right, so I'm going to give you 1 setback because she's pretty much calling you out on stuff that you really have spent a lot of time and energy burying.
Which is very liberating, but I think I want to use a force point on this.
Okay, I'm also going to give you 1 setback. This is just a blanket setback for the time you've spent in captivity already.
Which is really, really getting to me. It's terrible flashbacks of being a slave and being shunted from one place to another and these sorts of endeavors.
Well, and not only that, it has been your cage or these rooms, and that's it, for weeks. And it's been very demoralizing, especially for a criffing droid. You're good. House rule, all or nothing. That yellow is a cut die. Go ahead and roll it.
This is a fun game. Okay, so let's play the mini game. I have 1 success and 2 threat.
Okay. So you're deceiving. You're basically lying about any of Var's loved ones, but you have 2 threat. So what is your lie?
So my lie is that, to the best of my knowledge, I don't know that she has anyone else but
Okay.
us.
And what is your threat? So I'll say that you are pretty nervous about how this is going down, essentially.
So could it be that I'm really anxious about this, because I definitely feel like I'm about to be shot right here.
Yeah.
Like right now. I've got a firing squad. I'm in an easily disposable and cleanable place. And shit is nerve-wracking.
Deal. Alrighty. So
To the best of my knowledge, she doesn't have anyone else. It's just us. You know, I guess those of us left.
this is very
How's that
unfortunate
for
news.
threat?
This is very unfortunate news. You see, I feel like there's so much more that you're not telling me. And here I am, trying to be such a gracious host, bringing you something that has caused you much pain.
Look, Lim, I can't get blood out of stone. I can't get what's not there.
That's fair. Perhaps I'll visit your friend, Var, one last time and see if there's anything else I can get from her. And if not, maybe the next time we meet under different circumstances. You guys are not being very hospitable.
I kind of gesture with my manacles towards Rothko.
Rothko.
What of him?
Well, had you been completely truthful with me, I would have let you decided his fate. But you're lying to me about something. I can see it. You're nervous.
Of course I'm nervous. This is the type of place where people die.
This is exactly
And I'm
the
the type of person that always dies in a place like this.
You get to decide if it's you or Rothko. And you're picking the wrong team. He did this to you. Sure, he saved you from slavery, but he put you on this trajectory. Do you want to kill him? Or is this one more thing that you're going to try and protect for some semblance of greater good or nobility?
Man's gotta have a code. Code he's gotta live by.
And what is this code?
It's how you live. It's how you get by.
And where is this relevant in my business?
I can't take his life because I owe him mine.
Would you shoot him, please? The stormtroopers turn and they shoot Rothko. She turns and leaves.
Just kind of fall down on my knees.
And the camera fades.
Whatever she tells you guys, it's not true.
Guys, who's the traitor this whole time? Everyone yell at him instead of me!
It's not
It's
true.
okay. I'll change this name in the group
It's
chat.
a ruse.
Alrighty. So I think we're going to Right, so I think we're going to have a scene with Triz. And I think we're just going to pick it up immediately after her providing pretty damning evidence that Bruto has been not completely honest with you about recent things.
To be fair, you never asked.
There is physical evidence that he altered a homing beacon that was originally placed on the ship that him and Remy had launched into space to dispose of, but it really broadcast the signal to the Duro space station, where you guys have been saying, resulting in her arriving at the nick of time as she did right before you guys had a brief space battle before you jumped to Corellia. There is some other evidence as well.
Which I fixed.
So I think we'll pick it up as the tail end of the evidence is being brought forth. She says, Triz, I'm going to give you an opportunity if you should so decide. I am willing to wait as long as it takes to get everything I can out of you, but I know that you and your friends, well, you and your crew, are very resilient. But I have ways. I can already see the cracks starting to grow. Your first mate sabotaging your mission at every turn. Where did Var take Vox when she left Dantooine?
I don't know.
We know that Var was heading towards Hut space. Who would she have as an ally there?
Maybe one of the huts? I don't know.
See, Triz, here's the problem. I don't really know what credentials you have to be a ship's captain. You clearly didn't go through any sort of civilized means. Honestly, you leave quite the wake behind you. Let's maybe... Perhaps... I've been trying to be pleasant with you. I can tell that I'm not going to break you with the stick, and you don't really care for the hospitable way. So maybe you don't know anything. You seem to be quite a terrible captain. You look around my ship and everybody has a job. I know what everyone is doing. I look at your crew, the people you've scraped together, and I can kind of see their utility. I can see their purpose. I hope you didn't trust any of them. One of your members is a traitor. The other stole your ship out from under you, from what it sounds like. All for this droid. This worthless husk of scrap.
If he's such a worthless husk of scrap, why are you looking for him?
Because my supervisors put me on this crippling task. It is my lot in life now.
Join the club.
Yes, well, I would like to be done with it. Wouldn't you? Stop leaving bodies in your wake. Your former captain. 2 former crews. This is your 3rd crew, is it not? The Phoenix. There's a ship on Alderaan that you left several dead crewmates on the Death Star.
That wasn't my choice. That wasn't my choice.
And where were you when Anders ejected himself from the airlock on Hope's Light? They have detailed records on the entire exchange. You know, the only name that wasn't listed in that incident...
Don't you dare. Just leave him out of this.
You know those Alderaan survivors you guys brazenly rescued? I won't go into Anders. I can tell that you still harbor some sort of guilt for what happened to him, as you should. The rest of the Alderaan survivors, I don't know what happened to a handful
What
of them.
about your crew? How many members have you lost?
Several. I have lost several members. In this blasted task of finding this criffing droid.
Then that makes you no better than me.
You sacrifice your crew members. Mine are taken from me by people like you.
I would never sacrifice anyone.
No. You're just not there when they die. You're not there for them when they are sacrificed.
And where are you when your
I'm-
crew dies?
Leading from the front.
If that were true, how come you're not dead?
Because I am a true captain. I do what it takes. And if someone must be sacrificed to do so, then that's the cost they pay. I can assure you, not one of my crewmates has shot themselves out of an airlock for negligence on my part. I think we're gonna call it a scene. Okay. Who's got next? Remy's got next. Remy, it's been several weeks since you saw your mom and dad.
Oh, wow.
You've
All
had
right.
plenty of time alone.
Remy's
to
looking
think.
scruffy.
Yes. In fact, that number that I've had you rolled earlier, that we resulted in a 13, that's how many months it'll be in process.
We had birthdays.
But unfortunately, there's no way of keeping track of that, so it's only assumed that your birthday came and went.
Well, Al already gave me a birthday when we were stuck in the temple, too. So
I don't actually know when I was born.
Oh.
technically, I don't either.
Did I even give myself an age?
Alright. So, right.
What a sad, awkward high five.
So, you're brought to the same kind of setting as Bruto was previously.
Okay.
An empty cargo room, and you see a chair and a humanoid sitting on the chair with a mat, like a black hood draped over him, and you're brought before the same kind of high-tech stormtrooper squad, and she turns to you and she says, she instructs one of the no, she leaves him there. She turns to you and she goes, I trust that you've had some time to think on your family's requests, my requests, your situation. You see, we're very close to finding your metal companion. I just need one bit of information from you, and we'll be on our way. In fact, you'll be on your way elsewhere as well.
Hey, Dago. How's life treating you?
She gestures, the mask comes off. I'll trade you information for his life. Tell me everything you know about Var. I've got time.
Let's see. I first met Var on the Death Star. She was a prisoner that I helped break out. We spent some time on a Lambda, not really talking. Went to Corellia. She had some bounty hunters come after her.
Oh, for what?
Something dealing with Huts.
And that's it?
That's all I know.
It's interesting because... Can you tell me exactly when that happened?
Yeah. I don't know the official date,
It was 2
but
days after the Krellian Classic?
there was a big heist. Some priceless artifacts were stolen from an Imperial convoy train.
Oh, yes, I've heard.
And
Several...
it was within a few hours after those were stolen.
Yeah, I believe priceless artifacts, Old Republic masks were shattered. Yes, I've heard this story, actually, from other people who were there.
That's when it showed up. That's when they showed up. From there, we ran.
How was the message received? Was it sent to your ship?
I think so. I mean, I think there was a message, but then some physical bounty hunters showed up after that. So either message you're trying to say, yes, was sent to the ship.
Okay. So she steps out briefly, comes back in about 5 minutes, and she says, in the message, the Hutts are referring to someone else that was in jeopardy if Var didn't bring the droid to the Hutts. Who is that other person?
I never heard the message myself.
Who is the other person? Who would Var trust? Who would Var have someone put in jeopardy for her?
Everyone. Var's a selfish bantha. She would put everyone in danger for herself.
From what little she knows about Var and has gathered, she obviously has well-researched information on you guys. Mm-hmm. She's missing a couple puzzle pieces, and those puzzle pieces are starting to cause some of those red hairs to become gray hairs. So she just kind of sighs deeply, and she says, I will give you this. Your crew, as ragtag as they might be, for some reason you have a very powerful, misplaced sense of loyalty to whatever it is you think you're doing. I don't doubt that you think that you've told me everything. And unfortunately, that's just not enough for me or the Imperials. She gestures regrettably towards your friend. And the stormtroopers take a step forward, lock on their guns, aim at him.
Wait. What are you doing?
I'm doing what must be done. You see, for me, this is just another day at the office. I don't take pleasure in this. But you and your friends are preventing me from doing my job, and that's making me look very untrustworthy.
Look, you don't have to kill him.
He's nothing to me. Give me one good reason not to.
Because he's alive. You don't understand it. This is exactly what I couldn't stand with the Empire. This is why I couldn't be in their navy anymore. There's a difference between you and me, Chimera.
And what is that difference?
You're a monster.
Well, gaze upon what you have wrought. Fire. Blaster bolts zip across the empty cargo bay and strike your helpless friend in the chest. He leans forward, smoking. We shall see what kind of monster I can become then. She turns and leaves as you are escorted back to your room. The camera opens to RC, our good old buddy that is sometimes forgotten, or sometimes, I don't know, something but never lost, or never forgotten. I don't know. Some catchy saying about why Martin never roleplays him.
Lost but not forgotten.
Lost but not forgotten.
He's more just an accomplice in this. Like, he hasn't been there from the start.
He knew Var for 2 days.
He was at the ship
3 days ago.
when they arrested us.
Yep. RC, he's been in the whole scene of
You're
this.
the real
They've
traitor,
showed
though.
some clips, but RC's usually just like laughing uncontrollably, or just I don't know. He has a couple screws loose.
He's been talking to himself the whole time.
Yeah. If anything, you guys have thought that RC has more people in his cell.
Yeah, because we just hear him like echoing down the chambers.
Oh, yeah.
Just
He's a man of solitude. This is nothing. This is nothing. The camera does open with a Chimera RC exchange. I'll do this. I don't want to do this too much because it's just me talking to myself, and I've talked plenty over the last couple sessions. So I'm just going to knock this out briefly, just so those big RC diehards at home can get their rocks off. Which is mostly just Martin, because Martin created RC, so I can get my rocks off. All right. So the camera opens, and Chimera's basically badgering him as usual. Where's the droid? What's in hut space? He doesn't know shit.
He doesn't know a damn thing.
He still thinks you guys are somewhat crazy treasure hunters. Like, you guys have spent a lot of time together, but you probably haven't told him the full story. He probably hasn't asked for the full story. He has been recently considered a member of the crew, but not, he didn't pay the voting membership, So she basically says, I know you have been, I don't know who to look at. Usually I look at whoever's in the scene. She
I'll
says,
give you my best RC voice.
She says,
or face.
I know that you have been trained by the Imperials, by the Republic, to resist torture. So I'm not gonna bother with that so much. I'll try and break your egg, sure enough, but I have a feeling that you're a hapless bystander in this instance. Now, if our reports have you as taking them on an excursion days after they arrive on Dantooine, and the ship leaving before you guys arrive back from your excursion several months later. She presses on him, she tortures him a little bit, and she offers him, after asking him where's the droid, she says, why cast in with this lot? What do you have to gain? What could they possibly offer your miserable, lonely life? Aussie, I know your service records. I've had them declassified. I've looked and I've seen what you have done. All those that you have killed. Jedi. Other clones. I've seen what your nightmares have to offer. Surely they can't... Surely they're not worth this droid's existence. Do you have any information that might suit me? I'll make you a deal. I can offer you almost anything. I can have you live out the last moments of your life serving the Empire as we once served the Republic. I can reinstate you with privilege and honor and distinction for what you have done for the service. Tell me what's the one thing you want, and I can offer it to you in exchange for information on this droid. And he's kind of like a smoking husk at this point. He's battered and bruised and bloodied. And he just looks up. And he says, if I could have just one thing, just one thing at all, I'd want the Empire to burn. We're going to cut there to a scene that's not just Martin talking to himself. And it's going to be you guys in the same room as where Dago was shot.
Seems right.
The stench... it's been several more weeks, obviously trying to hit that 13-month.
We're here for a year.
Happy birthday!
And so you guys are brought into this room one by one, and you're released. Your chains are still cuffed on, so you're not completely free, but all the Imperials leave the room. RC is brought in as well, and he collapses immediately. He is very much the worse for wear. You guys all have your battle wounds from interrogation. Obviously, to roleplay all that would just be too exhausting. It has been months. You guys have not seen each other. You guys have not talked to each other in a long time.
I'll just check on RC real quick.
Okay.
About him.
Yeah, so you go over and check him, and he's, I didn't tell him nothing. I ain't got nothing to tell.
RC, what did you have to tell me?
Goes over to Bruto.
Just take it easy, okay?
Punches him.
Okay.
Traitor.
That's fair.
That's fair.
But it's more like this awkward, like...
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah.
But still, it's Captain. It's got some power to it. It does.
After, like, making sure RC's okay and seeing you coming, I just stand up and face you.
I trusted you.
Yeah?
I made you my first mate. Do you know what he did?
What's this going on about?
Var's just sitting on the ground. She's like, so am I not the most hated one right now?
No.
Hey,
Do you know what he did? Tell him. Tell him or I will.
Did what I had to.
Oh, you tell them.
Let's start at the beginning, shall we? Years ago, a young Bruto, or Fang, or whatever the hell he was taken from slavery.
That doesn't matter.
No.
Tell him what you did to us. Tell him.
I had to work for the Empire.
He didn't have to. He chose to.
When you work for the Empire, you don't get it.
He sold us out! You sold us out!
How much did she actually tell you? Did she tell you I hadn't sent a transmission in since Corellia?
That doesn't matter.
What did you tell them?
We weren't anything on Corellia. We were just trying to get to the next place.
Hi, Captain.
You're still a thief.
I'll take that.
And you left me.
I'm sorry.
Look, Triz. I'm sorry.
Are you?
Look,
During this whole time, Remy's just staring at the spot where Dago's body fell. Just kind of quiet, slightly listening to everything that's going on.
look, Captain,
Are you gonna hurt me too, RC?
you know my story. I'm nothing. I ain't got no one. But he's here with you now. We've all done shit. Every one of us has done stuff we're not proud of. I ain't never betrayed you. I ain't never had a chance. I've fought with you. I've held the line with you. And I've seen that man hold the line with us. If he sold you out, that was before. He's here now. He's got the same scruffs. He's got the same bruises. He's got the same beatings we all have. You don't think if he had something to say, he would have said it? Look, we're all a criffin' bloody lot. I don't know much about you. I don't care to know much about you.
I didn't think you'd still be here.
Speaking of, where's my damn ship? What did you do to it?
I kept it. The outside anyway, very nice.
And what did you do? Where did you go? Why did you leave?
I left you guys a message. I'm sorry I left you.
I'm sorry if things are a little foggy right now. I've got some, electrical burns and a little bit of trauma I'm working through.
This isn't how I wanted to see you guys again, and I'm sorry that it's come to this.
I was almost hoping I wouldn't see any of you again. But
Why?
now we're here. 'Cause you're a jackass, that's why. You're a jackass, you're a jackass.
And you're a jackass.
You're a jackass, I'm a jackass.
See, we all get along perfectly.
Do we, though? What are we?
We're a crew with a mission.
What am I to you?
You're
We're more than that.
my captain and my friend.
Am I, though?
I hope still.
Am I?
We're not
I
just.
think-
When did you ever listen?
Look, we all got
That's
shit
what
to
I
work
thought.
I had to leave. I had to protect the only family I have left. Blood family that I have left. And unfortunately that means that I had to leave what little one I thought we had started to build. And I'm sorry for that. But this is not how I wanted any of us to meet. Your ship is not destroyed, by the way.
Oh, well, that's good.
It's a little dirty on the inside.
Anybody changed the fluids in the last, year and a half?
She probably doesn't even know how.
No.
Does
Creep like did
Griffin
something
ma-
at some
does
point,
it
made it
matter?
go faster for a little bit.
You still think we're getting out of here?
And I also didn't sell out Vox. I'm not 100% sure where he is.
What does a droid even matter? Is it worth
It
a
doesn't.
life?
It doesn't matter anymore. We're all just floating in our casket right now.
It doesn't matter when they're gonna pull the trigger.
We just know they're gonna pull it.
I wish it would come. I ain't got nothing left to give.
I thought it was going to a while ago.
Should've.
Yeah, they should have. Instead, they killed the only man I knew as my father. The one who saved me. Yeah, he might have put me in all this. But what he saved me from, I never fault him for that.
We've all been through shit. We've all made mistakes. That doesn't mean that we can't somehow pull out of this.
Have you seen where we're at?
Yeah, we've gotten out of some tough situations before, though.
But what's the point?
Why are you so down in the dumps?
They're just gonna come again.
And again.
Look, I don't have a home to go back to anymore. I don't have friends or family to go back to.
What about your parents?
I'm sure they're on Kessel by this point.
Just where we're like we'll be soon. If we live.
If we get to Kessel, we're gonna have to stick together. You don't survive alone on Kessel.
You don't survive it all on Kessel.
I guess that's true. If a spider doesn't get you, the work does.
Be more merciful for us to just go here. But
Look, Var, I didn't tell him.
Didn't tell them.
About our other halves. They don't know.
Thank you for that.
For what it's worth, I never wanted to do this. The whole damn reason I'm along on this is that I just wanted to get out.
So let's do it now. Let's figure out something. We've gotten out of tough situations before. And yeah, this one's probably the hairiest. But we still have people out there that we can go get, and we have each other.
Do we?
We can. Yeah, we've all made mistakes, but we're all in this room together. We all wound up in the same spot because we're all working to do the same thing. And you people are the only people I know who actually put up with me. I'd like to not lose that.
For better or worse, we're a Karki family.
You want to finish your captain's mission. You and I both have people out there that we need to get out of situations, and you do too, even though you don't want to talk about it. And I don't know your story,
Yeah, I'm just along for the
but
ride,
you're
I guess.
here and you're kind of crazy, so you might
Listen.
fit in a little bit.
Listen, I ain't got nothing left, and it sounds like you guys don't have much left.
We have to go find Vox.
Hearing crazy sounds like a good description for us right now.
Look, I'm here because of you guys. But I don't know if I'd rather be back on Dantooine doing the same criffin shit I was. This is the most fun I've had in a long time.
Yeah, what were any of us doing before we got together? I mean, yeah, we've had some shit times, but we've had some fun ones too. No matter how brief and far.
I haven't really had that much fun around you guys.
Again, I keep forgetting you're here. I'm sorry.
It's because I'm sitting down, I'm sorry.
Just don't stand up, Arcee.
I'd stand if I could, but
You
my
need
knee
to
I'm
rest.
sitting right next to you, and I'm sorry.
I am here. I know. I haven't
We
seen
knew
you.
each other for
I
like
haven't
2
seen
days.
you in like 8 months.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened to you guys. How long were you there?
You're stuck in that terrible place for...
Months, but it only... it didn't feel like it,
Just like a couple sessions, if anything.
right?
no more than 4 hours.
I
No,
looked
you forgot a
around
whole
for...
episode, mate.
5 hours. I'm sorry.
It's been like 9.
The electricity's just fried
It's
my
been
brain.
like 2 handfuls.
It's the captain's punch.
Careful,
Yeah,
you don't.
my bell's
Careful
broken.
not to upset the neckbeards. They get really upstarted right now. Listen, the session's running long. We're about to wrap up.
Arcee's got a watch?
Martin hasn't really planned how to end this session, so we're just gonna end it with an inspiring speech. Would you like to take it, or do you want me to, Captain?
Look,
Still a fan.
before we hit our inspiring speech, Captain, if you want to take it out on me, take it out on me. That's all I deserve. But I am what I am. You know, don't... Only ask that you just... You judge me for what I've done since we've become a crew. Not what I used to do. I'm not proud of my past.
I don't know if any of us are.
When this crew first came together, I had no clue what the hell I was doing. It was like I was sitting at a table with pretty much 4 strangers. And I wanted to be the best captain that I could be. And we all know I shoved that up several times. But for once in my life, I felt like I was actually part of something. You guys made me feel like I was part of something. And the last thing I ever want to do is lose that. I'm still here. You're still here. And if you can forgive me for being the worst captain you've probably ever had, I promise that I'll do better. I'll be better. I'll get us out of here, and I'll keep you safe.
I mean, I've wanted to stay since before I left, so...
I think we'll cut as a scene. So the camera opens to an exterior shot. The mana core is in a space station. It's docked, and you guys are all transported in a series of cells into a transport ship. This transport ship houses hundreds of individuals. Unlike the mana core, which has a very specific purpose, this too has a very specific purpose, but not in line with the mana core. Chimera, greets you guys once again, collectively kind of lined up in your cages, and she wishes that she could spend more time with you, but unfortunately, this has gone on too long. Her supervisors are displeased with her progress.
I would share that wish too, Lynn. A different place, a different time.
She kind of cringes at that idea. She basically bids you farewell but not goodbye. There is a chance that she might need your services soon. Especially in the place that you'll be going, she hopes that if you guys do so decide that you wish to cooperate, she'll let you experience a far greater horror than she could give you on her ship. You kind of hear some giggles, some laughter coming from nearby troopers. You hear the word Kessel dropped lightly once in a while as you guys are transferred to a transport ship destined for Kessel. A truly hell realized in the Star Wars galaxy. You guys board this transport ship. You feel its slow sublight engines start to move, bringing you towards your new destination. As you're clear of the system, you feel it jump into hyperspace. And with the party en route to Kessel, we will call that a session. Previously on Legacy of Ash. Oh, that's me. Fuck.
I like parties.
My God, are you an angel?
Please don't.
That sounds so dirty. Did that ruin it for
I
anyone
was
else?
reminded of like a telenovela.
Yeah. I don't know.
Spanish soap opera.
Okay.
It just reminded me
Please,
of like this
no.
video I saw on
Mickey,
Facebook
no.
the other day.
Chimera, no! Did you say rapey or creepy?
She said creepy. You said rapey.
Did you say rapey?
I said rapey.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I was like, damn, man, why did I go there? Damn. I heard rapey. Okay. I'm back.
I wrote at the top of my page, I'm back, bitches.
You should say that.
I think you should.
should absolutely say that.
We need to get this hard R before the episode starts.
I wrote at the top of mine, what have we done?
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
Remy, danger boner.
He's got torture boner. He's got prison boner. He's got danger boner. He's got church boner. I think we established once. This is your next 5 things, by the
Is
way.
there a museum boner? I can't remember.
There is. I think there was. It was like
It was
the morbid
things.
The,
He has a
the
morbidity
severed heads,
boner.
Yeah, the severed heads thing.
This is totally your next
You
5
get a boner
things.
every time except when he actually gets it.
Bria can attest.
But then all she has to do is like smack him once and it's like, danger boner.
Or just like jingle the handcuffs. Oh, I'm good.
All right, here we go.
Choke me a little bit.
Oh, we've got the asphyxiation boner. Or was that a danger boner?
No, asphyxiation.
Asphyxiation, yeah.
There's also the awesome boner.
This has been a great journey for a lot of people.
I'm surprised Remy has enough blood to red both heads.
He doesn't! That's why he acts the way he does.
It all makes sense.
He's not intentionally an asshole, he's just oxygen
He
deprived.
just doesn't have enough blood to red both heads.
God, we're recording this too! We counted the boners! We figured out Remy!
Remy's a simple man once you understand him.
He cares about 2 things. His hair and boners.
Just breathe, Kathy. Okay? Just breathe. If we have to use CPR at the table, it's gonna get awkward.
I'm certified.
But yet, that doesn't help. It's okay, guys. I'm certified.
She's broken.
And I haven't been certified in a long time.
She is broken.
Oh man.
And that was Legacy of Ash.
Goodbye!
We're glad you joined us.